Hello everyone and good morning. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I am a PhD student in History and African American Studies at Yale University. I make academic lifestyle content all about my life as a graduate student, as well as making informational videos on how you can gain access to higher education as well. I am also a small business owner. I operate Accepted Consulting, which is a one-on-one consulting service where I help you with your academic journey, whether that's applications or helping you succeed in higher education. And today I'm starting another week in my life. I got up this morning and had a nice slow start. I took Move for her walk and then sat down and did some journaling, made some breakfast, and then I went ahead and got ready for the day and put on some nice comfortable clothing for my online classes. And today I have my class that I audit. So for the people that don't know, auditing is basically where I'm not taking the class for credit. It is an undergraduate lecture, which is being taught by my advisor. I audit because it is likely a class that I will be TAing for later in my PhD. And then later today, I have my European Empires and Law class. So I'm just sitting here and getting some things organized. Mondays and Tuesdays are my craziest academic days, and so I look over my emails, but I typically don't respond to very many on Monday mornings just because I have so much work to get done. So I'm just looking over everything that needs to be done. I got 2 new clients last night that signed up for consultations, so I'm just adding them into my client roster. I have a way of tracking all of my clients using Notion, and so I just kind of input everything into there whenever I get a notification that a new client has signed up for a consultation. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sit on the couch and get some reading done for class and just take some notes. So I'll show you guys what my day looks like. We're starting off on a very positive note, so let's go ahead and keep it going. I feel like I've changed clothes like 50 times this morning already, but I just decided to put on a t-shirt because I refuse to turn on the air in my apartment if I can help it. But that was a long way of coming back to the point of I have been reading for the last couple hours, and I have my study partner here with me, my coworker, Miss Moo. It is her birthday today, and I've just been working on this reading, and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about it. So I'm reading this article. It's called Legal Encounters and the Origins of Global Law with Lauren Benton and Adam Clulo. This article is just so well written. It's really well organized. I have a deep appreciation for when articles or books are just very simply written, and that it's very clear. The prose are clear, the argument is clear, the structure is clear, all of that. So just want to say that to begin with. So I'm going to try to explain the general argument because I think this is going to be, 1, helpful for me, but 2, you guys seem to be interested whenever I talk a little bit more about what I'm learning in class. Benton and Clulo basically argued that there was kind of a universal understanding of legal protocol, even in the early modern era, and just original encounter. And it's talking primarily about interactions in the Eastern Hemisphere, especially with trade agreements and whatnot from the Straits of Malacca. But there's also some reference to the Americas and indigenous encounters in North America. there was one particular mention of Algonquin agreements or treaties. So the argument is basically that even though there was no kind of universal law, in that there was no international law in the way that we think of it today, there's already kind of a general understanding of protocol, and that includes kind of diplomacy, and that there is a general understanding that when you encounter a different group of people that are under a different governing system, that there's going to be some kind of diplomatic formality when introducing yourself or introducing your sovereign and wanting to go into some kind of trade agreement. Then the second assumption is that there is generally some type of jurisdiction that is being maintained either at the center or in local polities, and that there's some kind of general understanding, or there needs to be some kind of agreement as to which jurisdiction certain actions fall underneath. Then it's basically talking about other types of protocol and maritime agreements. There's also another article that we're reading which talks about how corporations basically acted as their own sovereign, such as the East India Trading Company in England or the VOC, and that when they are going, like, even though they have a charter and they are somehow connected to the sovereign which signed that charter, that they are basically free to govern or free to make trade or sign treaties that is not necessarily in the name of the crown, if that makes any sense. So it's really interesting. I was having a lot of difficulty with last week's readings because it was a little further back in history than I feel comfortable with, in that I just don't feel as knowledgeable. But because we're finally in the 17th century, I actually have a little better understanding of what is happening and the discussions that are being had. Because when we were talking about like the 11th century and connections to Genesis and who has claim over Holy Land and right to travel, right to trade, all those things, I just felt so lost. I talked a little bit last week about imposter syndrome, and I definitely had that feeling of being totally out of my depth last week, but I finally feel like I'm on slightly steadier ground with the readings this week, and it's just fun to be able to talk about it with you guys. So if you guys like when I talk about my readings, please go ahead and let me know. I plan on doing a video at the end of every semester, doing kind of like a reading wrap up, or doing a semester in review video where I talk about the readings. And this is not only so that you guys get to know what I'm learning, but also to hopefully help me prepare for comprehensive exams in 2 years. So I'm already thinking ahead to what things might be on that reading list. So I'm just working on these readings, and I also just got a ton of emails that people have been signing up for more consultations. I said this in my last video, but my consultation services have just skyrocketed recently, and I want to talk a little bit more about starting my business and everything and maintaining it, but I am going to specifically be talking about the stress of balancing graduate school work and my business this week in this video, because I am trying to find the balance between growing and scaling my business while also beginning a PhD and wanting to do well in my classes. But I have office hours, and then I have 3 back-to-back consultations on Friday, which I have never done before. I have never had back-to-back consultations. It's just that there's so much demand at the moment that my schedule is completely filling up. So if you guys are wanting to book a session for a consultation, then I would get on it soon, because my calendar is just insane. The one thing to remember is that even though I find the amount of stuff that I have on my plate a bit stressful, I am just so excited that I get to do the work that I really love. I get to do my schoolwork, which I love because I'm just developing knowledge and because I love participating in seminar and developing my research ideas and my thoughts. I also love my consulting business where I get to help other people access higher education. I love making YouTube videos because it's my creative outlet. and I'm just having so much fun with it. I just feel like the last couple months I've just been waiting for this moment, just kind of visualizing what my life was going to be like at Yale, and it is better than I ever could have imagined. It is amazing. I was just sitting last night reading on the couch with Moo, listening to some classical music, and it was just, I just feel so at home here. I feel so happy and peaceful and excited and everything. So I have a lot on my plate. It's a little stressful, but I am just overjoyed that this is what I get to do with my life. So I just wanted to say that because I want to be able to share these moments and the moments that are a little bit difficult and everything. So that way you guys get to see like the whole roller coaster that this PhD is going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and keep reading, prep for class, and check with you guys in a little while.
What it takes to find themselves, to save a friend, discover true love in the end. When you're down, you close your eyes.
Hey guys, so I just got out of class and I am gonna go ahead and do a quick yoga session. I'm gonna do a stretch class and just try to just move and stretch my body because I've just been sitting and working at my desk for so long. I've been trying to incorporate a little bit of yoga into my routine, mostly just for my back. I have a lot of upper and mid back problems and I just want to kind of open things up. And as I said, I sit around a lot and Moo is staring at me, which makes me think that she wants to go out. I'm gonna do this quick yoga class and then we can go for a walk, okay? So I'm using the Alo Moves app, which has a bunch of different classes. They have bar classes and yoga classes, and I think I pay like $15 a month for it. So currently I'm going to do the Stretch into Stillness with Naya, and this is about a 20-minute class. I don't want to do anything super long because I have a ton of reading to do, but I just feel like I need to like stretch and move and whatnot in order to like actually do my work tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then get back to work.
But come back down with more than pride. These things I wish for you.
All right, so I did my yoga and I went and took Moo for a walk, and I have a couple books that came in the mail for my African American Studies course, Racial Formations. All right, so the first one is Black Marxism, The Making of the Black Radical Tradition by Cedric J. Robinson. This is one I've been meaning to put in my collection for a while, so I'm kind of glad it's on the reading list. And then I've got Discourse on Colonialism. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be, so it's a little book. And then I also got some Tiger Spice chai powder. This, in my opinion, is the best chai mix. You guys can sound off in the comments if you guys think that there is a better chai out there that I should be looking into, because I am happy to do that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower because I'm a little sweaty because I took Moo on a little bit of a run because she seems a little pent up. So usually when she's like following me around the house and like growling at neighbors and stuff, I need to give her a little bit of exercise, huh? So we went on a little run. That's a lot of running for a little dog. You got little legs. So I'm gonna go ahead, shower, make some dinner, and then I have a ton of reading to get done tonight. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Okay, you guys, it is 1 in the morning. I have been reading about the making of the English working class and my brain is fried. So I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Today is now Tuesday. I am extremely tired. I stayed up really late last night, and so I decided to treat myself to a pumpkin cream cold brew. I have been allowing myself to go get coffee once a week. Since I don't eat out, I pretty much cook all of my own meals, and most of my coffee and caffeine intake is in this apartment. So I decided to just kind of treat myself today because I have a lot of work to get done, and I have a little bit of reading to get done before I have class at 9:30. Then I have a legal history workshop at noon, and then I have a podcast recording with Natalie Barbu at 2 o'clock. So I'm gonna go ahead, down this, and sit here and do a little bit of reading. All right, so I'm done with class, and we had a really interesting discussion about E.P. Thompson and his book on the making of the English working class. And then I attended the legal history forum with the presentation with Ariella Gross. She's a professor at the law school at USC. She just published a book with Alejandro de la Fuente, and it's about slavery and slave laws and the laws of freedom in Cuba, Louisiana, and Virginia. And I'm kind of disappointed because there was so many questions I wanted to ask her. She mentioned the use of indigenous for motherhood in order to argue for one's freedom on the basis of parta sequitur venturum, which is very much related to my research. So I'm a little disappointed, but I'm gonna email her, I'm gonna follow up. And I also got an email from John Witt, who's a professor over at the law school, and that was really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break, and Moo and I are gonna go take a little nap because I stayed up very late and I just wanna rest a little bit before I need to get some readings done. I also need to work on a video, and I was supposed to record a podcast with Natalie today, but we're actually going to move it to tomorrow. So I basically have a relatively open afternoon. It's mostly going to be spent prepping my readings and also getting started on my readings for next week because I have a paper due, and that is my plan at the minute. And Moo's already ready for her nap, huh? Okay, we're gonna go take a nap and I'll check in with you guys later. All right, a few hours later, change shirts. I got the shirt on Amazon because I have not gone to the bookstore here to go get another sweatshirt or anything. And I have all this UCLA and Oxford and Cambridge wear, and I felt like it was time to get another shirt. So I decided I was not feeling like getting lunch, and I ordered a pizza, which never showed up. And now it is 6 p.m. And so because my pizza hadn't shown up, I called them and they refunded me. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to cook. Feeling like a little hormonal and a little stressed. So I just wanted to treat myself to some food out. So I went ahead and ordered some Te Amo, which is a Mexican restaurant in New Haven, and they make really, really killer tacos. So I got the pork belly tacos and some churros, and that's gonna be my dinner. I'm just sitting here watching the Vintage Academic, Katie's most recent video, and I'm just a little overwhelmed with just how much I have on my plate. I got 5 more clients for my consulting business, which is amazing. My business is doing so well, but it's growing so rapidly that I almost feel like I need to start hiring out. I don't want to do it this cycle. I'm not going to do it this year, but by next application cycle, I'm definitely going to need to hire at least 1 or 2 people onto my team. I'm somebody that's so organized and so structured, but I'm still adjusting to living in New Haven, my workload with school, my consulting workload, and YouTube videos and everything. And I just haven't really figured out like the perfect rhythm, like the perfect schedule. Because I had it when I was in California, I had it when I was at Oxford. I just need you guys to bear with me for a little bit because I just need to like actually kind of step into my schedule and figure out when it is I need to film in order to get videos up on Sunday and Wednesday, and that is going to be my plan going forward. But I just beg you guys to bear with me a little bit because it is a huge adjustment period, and I have just been overloaded with the amount of readings and everything. So I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to have a system soon. I'm just still figuring it out. So thank you guys for your understanding, but I'm starving and I just need to eat. So I will check in with you guys in a little while. Good morning, everyone. I am so tired this morning. I honestly did not get a whole lot of work done last night. I was mostly just trying to get organized because I've been working on my budget and a couple other things and getting organized. I had a ton of backed up emails. I had a sponsorship request for a video. That is what I'm working on at the moment, is just a sponsorship request and a bunch of emails. I have a lot of reading to get done today, a lot of work to get done. I have a new client at, let's look at my planner. So I have a new client today at 10:20, and then I have my history of slavery class. I have a podcast recording with Natalie, and then I have the race and slavery working group, and then I'm supposed to go grab dinner with Molly. So it's just like a super busy day. So I need to get on my reading right off the bat, so that way I am good to go. I have a couple hours before my consultation, so that should be enough time for me to get a couple of things done. So I'm gonna go ahead and make myself some breakfast, as well as breakfast for Moo. Drink some caffeine of some sort. I think I'll just have a matcha today. To God, I can wake up because I'm just so sleepy this morning.